Hey everyone! This is here Twilight 2011. Welcome back to more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we finished the City in the Sky, we defeated Argarok, and we got the double claw shot. So now we can pretty much be Spider-Man no matter where we go. In this episode, we got a lot of things to do, so be ready for my post-commentary to show up, because, yeah, there's a lot of ground we gotta cover. You may notice, Uku is no longer in our inventory. Well, like she said, she's now home, so we have to say goodbye to her. R.I.P., I guess. So, you may be wondering, now how do we get back down? The same way we got up here. So, let's use this cannon and go back down to Lake Hylia, shall we? Now, it conveniently places you in the water, and that was kind of a stupid idea of me to have my iron boots on when I was doing that, but, yeah, so you won't suffer any fall damage when this happens. In any case, there are 3 things we need to do during this episode. I was originally going to go out of my way to get the rest of the heart pieces, but I'm going to wait till after the next dungeon to do that, just because it's more convenient that way. Also, a lot of this video is post-commentary just because, like I said, in the previous episode with the golden bugs, I don't have the footage anymore of me catching the other Poes, so I'm going to be using a walkthrough I found online to show you the locations. However, I'm going to let you know right now, we're collecting the rest of the Poes we can get at this point, because by the end of this video, we're going to have a total of 57 Poes. The next 3 Poes are going to be collected in the next episode, because those Poes are inside the Cave of Ordeals. Another thing, too, we are covering the fishing hole in this episode as well. We are going to be doing the dreaded roll goal game to get the frog lore and catching the Hylian Loach. However, the roll goal and the Hylian Loach are both going to be post-commentary. I apologize for this video being post-commentary heavy with a bunch of jump cuts and all that, but this is the easiest way we're getting around this in at least 30 minutes or more. In any case, let's start the Poe hunting, shall we? Okay, we're back after collecting every Poe in the game that we possibly can at this point. So now, like I said before, you should have about 57 Poes. The last 3 we're going to get in the Cave of Ordeals. Now it's time to start Drogel. And, as much as I hyped it up at how terrible this game is, I actually do this no problem. This is post-commentary, as I said before, because just to get things going, I streamlined all my attempts because, well, yeah, this wasn't that bad, but honestly what comes after this was worse, which I did not expect. Rogol is pretty much simple. It's basically a ball pushing puzzle that you'd see in like WarioWare or something, where you have to get the ball to the end on this tiny track. Here's the thing. Before I said you use the C-stick, but that's only because I actually haven't played Rogol in a really long time. What you actually have to do is use the control stick, which honestly isn't that bad. But I did find out something interesting while I was recording this and looking up stuff to do. Originally, I was going to just cheap out and find someone playing all 8 levels of Rogol on YouTube. But again, like I said, for some reason, nobody owns the GameCube version of this game, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just because the game's rare. And yeah, I do flub up a few times, but overall, these attempts aren't that bad. In any case, something I found out interesting about this is that in the Wii version of this game, the time limit that you have on Rogol is a lot more lenient, because I expect that, I guess Miyamoto expected that because this is the first Wii game, the controls for the Wii remote aren't going to exactly be one-to-one, so people are going to struggle with this. Because from what I hear, even though I struggle with Rogol, this is a lot harder in the Wii version because you have to use the Wii remote. And that sounds not bad, because originally I thought I had to use the C-stick, but I was wrong. So if you have a steady hand, and if you played Super Monkey Ball for a long time like I have, this actually isn't that bad if you're playing this on GameCube. If you're playing this on Wii, I'm sorry. But in any case, you may be wondering why the video is so short too. That's actually because I was also wrong. You don't have to play all 8 tiers of this. You only have to play the first tier with 8 levels, because realistically speaking, Rogol, all you have to do is beat the first tier with all 8 levels, and then you unlock the fishing lore. More specifically, the frog lore. After that, it's all just bragging rights. The levels do not change whatsoever. They're simply the same levels with a less lenient time limit. I think you only get like 30 seconds on the last one. And I wasn't going to torture myself, especially because after you beat the first tier, you unlock what you came for anyway. So yeah, I wasn't really going to be, I wasn't going to torture myself with that. I'm sorry about that. I'm also sorry for like trying to cheap out and trying to find like a guide for this, because I already used a Poe guide in this instead of actually capturing footage, because I did all the Poe hunting off screen, so I didn't want to cheap out with that again. You may be wondering also, why am I segueing, why am I leaving and coming back? Well, the one annoying thing about Rogol is that pretty much every time you do it and beat it, and by the way, starting at level 5, she starts adding ramps, so you have to have momentum on this. But every time that you beat Rogol and leave and come back, yeah, you have to load the next one, you have to leave the house and come back, so it's a bit tedious. And also, I don't know if I did it yet, because I wasn't really paying attention, but I messed up there. I don't know if I did it off screen, but I changed back to my Ordon shield, because like I said, I love the Ordon shield, so when there are times where you don't have to absolutely have the Hylian shield out in case of burning, I just tend to have it on just because I like the way it looks. Something that I also wanted to cover in this video... Oh yeah, I totally did. Something I also wanted to cover in this video, by the way, is, there is a Chew Jelly that I said I was going to cover later in the LP, that if you get this Chew Jelly, it essentially acts like a very weaker version of the Great Fairy's Tears. We'll be covering that probably after the Palace of Twilight, just because, I also decided in the next episode, because the next episode was originally going to be a heart piece cleanup, because now that we have the claw shot, we can basically go to anywhere in Hyrule, so we can go get the rest of the heart pieces. I realized I should wait till after the Palace of Twilight for that, because not only is the next episode the Cave of Ordeal, so it's going to be long anyway, plus after that is plot. And yeah, my finger twitched on that one. There are 3 more pieces of heart in Hyrule. 2 of them I know off the top of my hand, and I don't know where the last one is. But With that being said, there's 2 more in the Palace of Twilight, so it would seem really weird for us to go do heart piece collecting now and then get the last 2 in the dungeon. Sure, we can do a straight shot towards Hyrule Castle, but I feel it's more convenient if we do one last side quest before we actually go and do plot. Because, it's not an RPG unless you completely ignore the final boss and go do your own thing. Now, these next 2 sections take the longest just because I didn't cut out my failures. I didn't fail that much, granted, but this is what takes the longest. So, I guess off topic while I'm speaking about this, I have to apologize again for having a very sporadic upload schedule. That this LP, when you really think about it, it's taken 3 years for me to do this. And it's not like Chugga where it's like Xenoblade where like he was just prepping on how to do the LP. Me, it's just because I was new to YouTube, well, new as in like actually doing Let's Plays, because this was my first Let's Play, like as you guys know. I had a terrible upload schedule when it came to this, because I believe I started this LP back in like 2013 of November, which yeah, it's the like the 3-year anniversary of this LP. But just the fact that like I started out with Movie Maker. I did this in my back room on the house computer, and like I was doing this at 30 frames per second, looking on my computer screen instead of having looking at my TV screen. Because I do remember I did a vlog, even though all my vlogs are private now. I did a vlog about getting my capture card, and I recorded some Jack 2, but the way I did it was weird, so I couldn't really record audio, so it was basically just the image without any audio, and I was just doing stuff saying like, oh hey, I got a capture card now, so I can actually play video games for the internet now. Because I also remember in one of my vlogs, I recorded a bit of Skyward Sword just using like my 3DS as a camera, as awkward as that was. But I apologize for earlier in the LP where like I swore a lot without censoring myself. I talked over cutscenes. I had very awkward humor. I was a different person back then, and on top of that too, I just did not know how to make LPs. Maybe you guys have noticed when I was doing this LP that I've gotten better at it, especially like with Sonic, how I've gotten a lot better with the editing. I've gotten a lot better with like streamlining stuff, making things entertaining, and we beat that level, so we're on to the final level, and this one is the one that's annoying, but it's not that annoying in this version just because you have a very generous timer. It's very annoying on tier 8, don't get me wrong, but the first few attempts that I do here, I mess up on purpose just because I know, because I've done it off screen years ago, that if you have enough momentum, you can just short hop the marble all the way to the end, and I think she actually comments on that too. But I couldn't get it on recording, so I just said screw it. But anyway, I've been thinking like for a while now that like I wanted to like redo the first few episodes of the LP, because I think like it's not till we get to like Goron Mines or such that I actually start being okay with how I edit, how I go about cutscenes, being quiet with them and all that. And yeah, I do some voice acting during the cutscenes, but it's only for characters I feel comfortable, like, actually giving a voice, like with Colin and Zant and all that, even though Zant, I haven't been consistent with his voices. And, it's mostly just because I'm trying to, like, become a voice actor. Like, LPing is just something I do on the time. I go to college for theater and all that. I'm trying to learn how to do all this stuff. It's been rough on me, but at least I enjoy it. For once in my life, I enjoy, going to class and doing stuff just because it's stuff that I actually want to do. But I've been thinking, like, I wanted to redo the first few episodes of LP, but I've been thinking, you know what, maybe it's just a learning experience, because, I mean, like I said, I was inspired by Josh Jepson to start Twilight Princess as my first LP. And, well, I remember, like, when he started out, like, even though it wasn't his first channel, I think he took his first channel down, even though it wasn't his first LP ever, it was his first LP on this new channel, and he was very awkward starting off Twilight Princess, being very casual, talking over cutscenes and all that. And, well, he didn't get good with editing, and his videos didn't honestly become very entertaining until the end. And I like to compare myself to that, where, like, I was very immature, I talked over cutscenes, I didn't censor myself, I was very half-assed about everything, forgetting the dungeon map and all that at the very beginning, and I've gotten better. But I have to apologize for the upload schedule, just because, you guys, I'm sorry for torturing you guys like that, where it's like, I would only have like a few videos. Oh, right, this attempt annoyed me because I was right at the end. But, oh, I actually got it. Oh, never mind. Okay, never mind. I was thinking of something else. So now that we cleared it, we got the frog lore, and now that we have the frog lore, we can go and catch the Hylian Loach. The rarest fish in the game, that's also referenced to Ocarina of Time, because that was also the rarest fish in the fishing hole. This one is what took me the longest. Here's the thing that you have to do for the Hylian Loach. First of all, it has to be summertime, so you have to leave and come back to the fishing hole right away. And make sure that it's summertime. Doesn't matter what time it is, it just has to be summertime. You come back, you have to use the fishing lure, the frog lure specifically that you got, and you have to go over to the north corner of the fishing hole where the lilies are, and then it will be there. However, this thing is a pain in the ass to catch. And if you're wondering why I'm bringing Henna along with me, well, I like Henna. She's pretty. I like having a female companion alongside me. But here's the thing. If you somehow cheated to get the sinking lure, which, by the way, the only way to get the sinking lure in this game is to catch every single fish in the game and somehow be able to fish it normally with your fishing rod outside of the minigame in the north corner, and you'll be able to use it. However, you have to use it by yourself, because if you bring Henna with you, she confiscates it immediately, and I think you waste your game. In any case, this thing took me so freaking long. I edited it down for you guys to when I actually did my successful attempt, but this took me a total of almost an hour and 30 minutes to do. And just like Big Story and Sonic Adventure, I cut this down just because you guys do not want to see me just do nothing but fish. I was just dumbfounded at all the bad luck that I had with this fish. Not only were there multiple times where I had it and it got away, but it also has this really annoying gimmick where, out of habit, you know that you have to basically pull the lure the moment that a fish hooks. Not with the Hylian Loach. You have to let it sink its way all the way to the bottom of the lake, otherwise you don't get it. It escapes. And yes, it has really weird AI in the sense that it becomes intelligent. After 3 failed attempts, it will no longer pay attention to your rod, and you have to do the whole thing again by exiting and coming back, essentially wasting money. The reason why I bring Henna, not just because I enjoy her company, it's also more satisfying to have her with you when you collect it, because, well, I like making people happy, considering I did 100% of Majora's Mask and Majora's Mask 3D. So, over here is the edit, because I went to my successful attempt, and by the way, the rain in this game is annoying because you can kind of see the fish underneath the water when you're fishing, not during the rain. This is why it took me so long to find the goddamn thing anyway. So, he puts up a fight, and by the way, have your finger ready to press the A button immediately, because even if you reel him in, if you do not grab him the first time, he escapes. This is one of the most annoying things I had to do in this game, and frankly, the thumbnail of this video was just, roll goal hell. No, the fish is the thing that was annoying me in this, but I hope you're enjoying the Big the Cat music again, because again, at least Big the Cat music soothes my soul, and Link's sheath is clipping through the... I love this game, but graphically it did not hold up. So, I pressed A as fast as I could, and... dearie me! I was just screaming at that point, too, that I caught it. That's the legendary Hylian Loach! Amazing. From now on, I'm calling you Link, Fishmaster. Oh, right. I got so excited I forgot to measure your fish. Oh, it's about 27 inches. That's the biggest fish you can get in the game, by the way, so I got very lucky. Yeah, of course, I was going to release it after I freaking caught it. So in any case, I quit my game there because we're done. We don't have to go into the fishing hole again. If you want, you can come back and try to get every fish in the game just to get the sinker lure, but I'm not going to bother. The Hylian Loach is what we really came for. Wow, that was seriously amazing. I watched as the Hylian Loach was reeled in before my very eyes. I still can't believe it. Thanks. I'll keep it in the aquarium. It's nothing but bragging rights, but I'm just happy I got to do that. So, in the next episode, we tackle the Cave of Ordeals, and prove ourselves as a legendary hero. See you guys then.